A question on Indiana voter ballots has some people scratching their heads. Good evening to you, and thank you for joining us.
Hoosiers have been hitting the polls for early voting, but this general election, there are more than just names on the ballot. There's a question on there that's pretty confusing.
It's topping your election alert tonight. News 10's Sarah Lehman talked with your state representative to clear up some of those questions. She joins us now live with details.
Patrice Rondrell, it's the first question Hoosiers are faced with when they go to vote this election season, and a lot of voters are saying it's confusing. Hoosiers across the Wabash Valley are getting out to the polls to vote. The first question they see asks about the state constitution, but the way it's worded.
I thought it was very complicated.
Patty Curley is a fourth grade teacher for Vigo County School Corporation. She says she didn't know about the question until one of her friends who already voted told her about it.
I think most of us that walk in there don't have the knowledge or background to know what it's asking.
So we asked State Representative Clyde Kersey to tell us what it means.
It would allow the legislature not to fund police, firemen, and teachers' pension and use that money to balance the budget.
Kersey said Indiana's Constitution has always had a balanced budget ever since the state went bankrupt in the 1800s. He says there's never been a problem with it until this new amendment the voters are asked about.
On the surface, it does no harm. I mean, we've already got a constitution that requires a balanced budget. So what's wrong with passing an amendment? I think that in this case, after we've had a chance to look at it, it does more harm than good.
And Curley says,
I hope people vote it down because changing the state constitution it is a big deal, and I don't think it should be done on a whim or by people like myself who didn't really understand the question.
Now, I talked with a lot of voters coming out of the polls today, and a lot of them said they didn't even answer the question because they didn't understand it and they didn't even know that it would be asked. Back to you.
Very interesting.